And first off, before we even get going, fuck you to Jacqueline, Hannah, Sam, Amy, and Luna. Y'all can eat a dick. All right, right there.
And choke on it.
Right about that. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you don't fucking know.
They're sitting there and they're like, what the fuck? Why?
Why? What's up with all this aggression?
Fuck you. That's why.
Fuck you.
It's like somebody else named Amy and she's
Hannah
like, yeah.
and Luna.
And they're like, what the fuck did I do?
If you fucking know, you know.
Yeah, if you didn't do anything, then you're probably the wrong Amy and Hannah and Luna and whatever other.
But
names
you know what?
said.
Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. Maybe you are the problem.
Realize. Yeah, you just don't know that you're the problem.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
That happens.
Jesus. Before we get any further, we do have some big news.
Yes.
Me and Karina have been kind of going back and forth on this for a while. And, you know, we've just had the discussion with the team and we've decided that we don't want to just cover the challenge anymore. We're going to kind of expand our horizons and start looking at other things that we can talk about and bring to the podcast that aren't necessarily Bunham and Murray, reality TV.
This doesn't mean that we're not going to cover the challenge at all.
Yeah.
We are finishing 41. No matter what, we are going to recap every single week, just as we always have for the past 4 years. P.S. Happy birthday to the Challenge Fandom podcast.
Yeah, that's our big birthday announcement, though, is like.
So 4 years for the podcast. And we just kind of feel like we've kind of hit a little bit of a ceiling and we want to be able to grow and talk about some other things. And there's so many things that Rick and I and the rest of the team are, you know, really interested in. And, you know, especially towards the beginning of the podcast, we would have like those long intro moments where, you know, we'd sit and talk about movies and music and stuff. And it quickly became something we realized like we couldn't do all together. And so we've been trying to figure out a way to make it all work. And we've just kind of decided that the best way for us to do it is to just kind of open the doors to a little bit of everything. So, like I said, we'll still cover the challenge even after 41, like All-Star 6, you know, if they eventually sign for 42, we'll still cover the challenge. It just might not be like, you know, these 60 to 90 minute full recaps every week. And we will be doing other stuff on our channel. Now, we will keep everything separate. So, you know, if you want to hang around for the challenge stuff, but you're not really interested in, you know, like we're probably going to explore movies. We're going to explore music. We're going to explore, I don't even know,
whatever,
all kinds of things. But if you want to stick around for just the challenge, cool. Yeah. If you guys want to stick around and see what else we get into, we would love your support and appreciate it. And we really hope that you guys give it a shot. But like I said, we will be finishing out 41 as is. We won't really be incorporating much else until 41 is over. But we wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up that we're going to just try to expand a little bit.
So with that comes some changes, and some of those changes are going to be branding changes.
Yes.
So over the next couple weeks, you'll notice that our logo is going to change. It's not going to be completely different than what's up here or what you see when you go to our IG, but it'll be a little bit different.
It'll be recognizable still. You'll be like, oh, that's them. Yep, that's them.
And with that being said, we're just going to be putting out, honestly, more content just in shorter form. So we might do 2 or 3 episodes a week, but they might only be 20 or 30 minutes each.
Right.
And one of those might be the challenge in future seasons.
Right.
And this is also going to help because we've gotten to the point where the challenge has decided that they don't need to film 4 seasons back to back to back.
Which is great.
Yeah. So we get 3 to 4 month breaks where we don't have anything to talk about. This will give us something to kind of fill those gaps with as well.
And it also gives us a chance to, you know, even explore other shows. You know, we might want to, you know, incorporate like some traders things because we've all really gotten into traders.
Survivor's starting up.
Survivor's starting up. Rick and I are big brother. We're big brother guys. Yeah. Big Brother sucks, but we're big brother guys.
We still love it though. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and so, you know, and then movies, music, whatever, you know, just anything. It's going to kind of become more of like a pop culture, millennial pop culture kind of thing. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of like what kind of road we're headed down. But yeah, we are very excited about this. We're just really hoping that this helps us, like I said, just kind of gives us the ability to explore other things and not just limit ourselves to just the challenge. So
hopefully you guys are coming along for the journey with us. If you are, stay tuned. We're going to have some more stuff for you. But without further ado, let's get into the challenge. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
We're back.
Back, bitches.
Back for the first time. Wait, what?
What?
Huh? But it's been 4 years. That's right. 4 fucking years. We've been coming here weekly to break down the challenge for you. So we want to take a second to say happy birthday to y'all from us about our birthday on the podcast. Somehow it all makes sense. Anyways, you've gotten to the Challenge Fandom podcast. We're here to break down episode 8 of season 41, Vets and New Threats. Got myself, Ricky Hayes, my beautiful wife, Karina Hayes. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, hit like, follow, whatever the button is. Just click the buttons.
All the buttons, and they'll all be linked down below.
Just do it.
All the things.
All the things. Anyway, so we're here to get down into episode number 8, Justice for Leka. Now, is it real or is it a sham? Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. See, I still haven't put any new sounds on our soundboard, so we have to make our own sound effects.
Is it a scam or is it real?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It doesn't, but it worked. It worked. With that being said, let's get right into this episode. Yes. We start off in the intro with Turbo confronting Derek about voting for D, who he's partners with. And now Derek is fake as fuck because he voted for D, and that could have made Turbo a hangnail, even though D didn't get voted in and he's not the hangnail. And other people voted for Turbo and D too.
Do you think so here's my question about Turbo. Because again, this is so silly and so stupid because first of all, we're at episode 8. We're nearly halfway through the season. So like at this point, like you can't really be mad at people for saying your name unless like you're directly working with them, which we know that Turbo and Derek Chavez are not working directly together because Derek Chavez is working with Olivia. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if a lot of this, this like hubris, this kind of like top dog behavior that we're seeing from Turbo this season, I'm wondering if a lot of it is just like for the cameras.
It is because there is no one else there to do this. He does not do this if CT comes in shape, running the house. He doesn't do it if Jordan's there. He doesn't do it if Bananas is still there. Yeah. And that's the thing is he's quick to get fucking booted off a season when he acts like this and those guys are there.
Yes.
My thing is how do I want to fuck it? Turbo has a lot of hubris for someone who's accomplished a minimal amount. And I know I'm going to get the fucking, hey, well, he won fucking War of the Worlds, which is the hardest, blah, blah, blah. Like you've said a million times, he skipped the hardest part of that final.
2. Also, I'm pretty sure he got to skip 2 checkpoints on that final. And they were the hardest part. Like, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
And we all acknowledge that if it's not for Nani, he never gets to that final. Paulie makes that final.
100%. I don't even think, honestly, like if Turbo was partnered with anybody else on War of the Worlds 1, I don't think that he makes it far at all, simply based off the fact that he was a rookie.
Yeah.
And like literally Nani's social game was a lot of the reason he didn't get sent in because he was partners with Nani and people weren't going to send Nani in.
His only iconic moment is not a daily or an elimination win. It's him getting so pissed off at Jordan that he can't fucking control himself because Jordan walked like him.
You cannot copy my walk.
Pussy chicken.
I'm actually glad you bring up the pussy chicken thing, because kind of going back to like the Derek thing on this episode, and, you know, like calls him, he's like, Derek is, you know, FF for fake as fuck or something like that. Right. I feel like Turbo is constantly, and I might have even said this earlier in the season. I can't remember. I know I had the thought because he did something like this earlier in the season. But I can't remember if I said it on the podcast, but I feel like he is consistently trying to recreate that moment, the pussy chicken moment, and he falls flat every single time. Like, FF fake as fuck. That's stupid. Why would you even think that was clever to say? That's dumb.
It's some Sesame Street shit. Like, the letter F is for fake as fuck.
It's one like,
I like how I just turned Turbo into a Russian.
You just turned him into Borat.
Yeah, and here's my thing is, you're 100% right, because if you think about it, when he got pissed off at Devin, what was that, Ride or Dies?
Yeah, he said something
level 2 pussy chicken.
Stupid.
Like
stupid. Come on, bro. Like, just dumb. Like, you should. And I honestly, like, I think for me anyway, every single time he tries to outdo the pussy chicken thing, it diminishes like the value, the funniness of pussy chicken, because it's like, dude, just stop. Just let it live in infamy and just let it be. Stop trying to recreate that moment, because it was a magical moment and we all love and appreciate it. Okay. But that's not something like, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like Turbo is a fucking tryhard. He's just he's a tryhard, and it just bugs me. And like, it really bugs me, like this fake as fuck thing, calling Derek fake as fuck, when, like I said, all of what he's doing really feels like it's acting for the camera. And it's like, are we really getting a real Turbo, or are we getting the fucking showman Turbo who wants to, you know, be a fucking action movie star?
Well, that's what we're always getting, is that Turbo. My thing is I just find it interesting that he is being a complete fucking prick to CT from everything we've seen in the edit. And yet they are supposed to be boys. Like, you've seen text messages about them hanging out in Florida and all this shit.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is CT shared it like a few weeks ago too. Shared like screenshots.
But Turbo wants to fucking take Leka's side that he's known for 2 weeks, and that I think he had one conversation with this whole time. It's
just crazy to me. I just don't get it. And like, we'll get more into Turbo's strategy, because I really think that it shows just how inexperienced he really is in like the strategic, like, you know, social political side of this game. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later, once we get like towards, you know, deliberations and nominations and everything. What I thought was really interesting was, you know, the next scene that we get is Theo being assessed by the doctor for his knee, which, you know, he's been having issues with. I think he said that he like not originally heard it, because he's like always had, but this season he had like heard it on the first daily, right? When they were going up the mountain or whatever.
He twisted it.
Right. So, and obviously we know what happens a little bit later in the episode once he goes to the daily. And it makes me wonder, did Theo ask to see a doctor, or was he forced to see a doctor? Because I also remember, like, CT has said numerous times, and I think a lot of the other vets and OGs have said it as well, that like seeing a doctor is damn near signing your death warrant for the challenge, right? Like, you want to avoid the doctor and you want to avoid going in that ambulance as much as you can, because once you go, the chances that you're going to get, you know, DQ'd from the show are high. And so it just makes me wonder, like, if he hadn't have said anything.
Well, and here's my thing, though. We don't know. It could have been something as simple as he's laying in bed with Olivia talking about, my knee's been swollen for like the last week, and it's not going down.
Just sent in.
And production, because they have to cover their liability.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a swollen knee is a lot better than a torn fucking ligament that they have to pay for.
No, that's true.
So I could see them jumping in. It's very much like almost like a workman's comp claim.
Yeah.
So they're trying to catch it before it gets worse. And I think that's why he said, oh, I've dealt with swollen knees before, I think it's just because I'm not getting like a week to rest it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it kind of leads to what happens.
I guess maybe that, and I guess that would make sense because it just made me wonder, like, why would Theo ask to see a doctor and then, and then obviously, because like I heard that same comment where he was like, oh, I've dealt with the swollen knee, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, then why would you even have the doctor look at your knee if you think your knee is just swollen and just, it's just because it needs rest? Why would you even ask for a doctor? But that makes sense. Like you said, maybe they just overheard him and
not to say that's exactly what happened, but that's a very plausible scenario for me.
All speculation for sure.
It's a lot of speculation that Michaela and Nani think none of the rookies want to be partnered with Olivia.
I don't know, man, because we see some shit go down later in the episode that kind of proves them right. But why? It's just,
that's my thing is like, yeah, I get them playing it up in front of Nani and Michaela. But you're telling me I'm going into this game and at the end of the day, it's about me winning money, not being popular with these 4 girls.
Right.
I'm going to say what I need to say in front of them. And you know what? Fuck y'all. If Olivia picks me or I get to pick Olivia because she's one of the best vet women out there right now.
Right.
That's who I'm picking.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's always possible, right? It's always possible. And, we see it happen all the time where people, we've seen it this season with Anissa, living in that room with Nani, Aviv, Michaela, and Ashley, and, kind of working with them, especially more towards the beginning of the season, but still being friends with Olivia, so we've definitely seen situations where people just kind of ride the fence and they say what they need to say in front of these people, but, they're doing something totally different. So I guess that is plausible, but
with that being said, I mean, that's just my like my view on it. They could very well be dumb enough to think that, I don't want Olivia because the whole house doesn't like her. Like, that's such a stupid thing, though.
So here's the thing, though. The only plausible thing I could see behind, like, the rookie guys, everybody kind of being nervous to be partners with Olivia is because the house doesn't like her. So it's easy for them to vote her in, right? So that obviously affects her male partner. So, I could see that aspect, but I wish somebody would just say that, like, instead of, I don't know. Yeah, we'll get into whole
the kind of like a mean girl kind of vibe. Kind of, is that what you're kind of leaning towards?
That's like the whole vibe that it was giving later in the episode, and we'll get into that. But instead of like just being this like, oh, let's just sit around and be catty and talk trash for no reason. Like, if that was the reason, right? If, let's say, for example, Cedric doesn't want to be partners with Olivia because he's worried about how easy it is for all the other rookies to throw her in, and that puts him in a bad position. That's understandable, in my opinion, but just say that. Like, just say that. Don't sit around and be catty about it, So
no, I totally get that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And look, I think, do you think there might be a reason behind it, or that we're just getting an edit to not have a reason to show him as being catty?
I'm sure that there's some kind of reason, but I don't know. Here's my thing. I don't know if it's, and I hate to say it this way, but I don't know if it's just sheep mentality. The leader of the group doesn't like Olivia, so I don't like Olivia, I saw, Katie Heron wearing pink pants, so I bought pink pants. Like, that's
that bitch, Katie.
You know what I mean? So, but I don't know if it's that, or if there's like an actual reason, like I said, of people just being nervous of being partnered with her because it's easy, it puts them in danger of being thrown in more easily.
Yeah.
And it obviously puts them in a bad position with their alliance, but it came off as sheep mentality, right? Like herd mentality.
Yeah.
That's more what it came off to me as opposed to every single person having a reason for not wanting to be with Olivia. But that being said, it could all be editing. Maybe they did sit there and name off all the reasons that they don't want to be partnered with Olivia, and we just weren't shown that because production knew that it would incite some sort of emotional response, right? Whether you're upset about how Olivia was being treated or whether you're cheering on how Olivia is being treated. either way, it evokes an emotional response, right? Which is the ultimate goal with reality TV.
Look, I'm going to be honest, Olivia. If you need a partner, you got a rookie right here. I'm an older rookie, 39 years old. I can kick a football. I've got horrible endurance, but
I can do puzzles and math.
I can do puzzles.
Really good at math.
I'm good at math.
Great at math.
Random trivia, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
And to top it all off, I'm slow. Like speed wise, I'm just slow. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to worry about me getting out ahead of you.
Yeah.
So if these guys are stupid enough not to want to run a final with you, because pretty much all your roads, from what I see, look like they're leading to a final right now. Unless these girls can really pull some shit off. But with that being said, I'm here for you. I'll split that money with you. I'll even give you a bigger cut because you're going to do most of the work anyways.
It's so facts.
But let's get into this daily because she moved her body like a cyclone.
She made me want to do it all night long. All right.
That's why you shouldn't give millennials a mic right there. So the name of this daily obviously is Cyclone. It's a giant shipping container being hung about 30 feet off some water.
I still can't believe I didn't realize that was a shipping container. Like both times that they've done it, I was like, that's like, did they build? I've literally looked at it. I was like, how'd they build that? What is it? It's a fucking shipping container
with the doors off.
On its side with the doors off. Karina, you dumb bitch.
It happens.
It happens.
Anyways, they have to take these blocks of blocks. Sorry. Anyways, them and their partner have to grab these blocks, climb up the shipping container, and move 5 of them from the bottom to the top, and then swim to a platform. Whoever moves the most boxes and makes the swim in the least amount of time wins the daily.
Right.
Lowest or last place goes automatically in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit here and like kind of go through everything that happens, but before the daily even starts, TJ announces that Theo got seen by a doctor and that he is not cleared to compete until he gets cleared with an MRI.
Yes.
So they magically make this new rule that me and you were just tripped out about.
Yeah, just
new rules.
Magic, new rules.
Magic. Anyways, and that new rule is that unlike when Naya was hurt and her partner had to sit off to the side, they are now going to take the hangnail, Will, and switch him with Theo. Mm-hmm. So now Will is partnered with D, which is a match made in heaven.
Oh, yeah.
And Theo is now the hangnail.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the shit I have the problem with in the challenges. There's no consistency ever in rules.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane because why? Look, I have no problem, right? And I understand that the Naya and the Theo situation were slightly different because when for Naya's elimination, there was no hangnail, right? So it wasn't like she could be like traded out. But you already had a situation where you had someone who was injured and you forced them into last place automatically to the elimination. So my question is, why does having a hangnail all of a sudden change that? Why would Theo and D not be put at the bottom in last place automatically, unable to compete? So they're automatically last place going into the elimination. Will stays as the hangnail. Like, I just don't understand why the rules got changed.
It's just, once again, an example of the inconsistency of the way they run the season.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And honestly, like, if anybody out there has any ideas, please message us, drop them in the comments. If you've heard anything, we've been really busy. So I haven't heard any interviews where this has been addressed at all as to why this decision was made. And we probably never will. But I'm just curious if maybe any of the cast members have said anything about anything that might have been said, like behind the scenes that wasn't shown on camera or something. So if you've heard of anything or you have any ideas, drop them down in the comments, message us something, because this really, it racked my brain. And I will admit I was upset about it. And like you said, this is one of the reasons, this is one of my biggest problems that I have with production is the lack of consistency, especially in rules. Like, there's no transparency. And in a game like this, you need transparency.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to make a big deal or sell it short, but it just really grinds my gears.
Grinds my gears.
Yeah.
Yep.
With that being said, kudos to production for putting timers on these people's swims. What do you know? It didn't kill any of the drama. It still made it interesting.
Wow.
And we could see official times, and it made me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
It did. It absolutely did. And look, first of all, I don't think any of us needed timers to know who was going to win this.
No, fuck no.
As soon as it was done, I was like, yeah, I think everybody else there also knew. They were like, yeah, that's we're not going to be beating that today.
I think it was one of those situations where very much like Leroy in that one type of elimination, or I'm drawing a blank right now, but where it's one of those dailies or eliminations that's specifically made for people.
Right.
And this one felt like it was made for Jeremy. Like, I feel like the only person that might have been able to keep up with him is Jay.
Ooh, Jay Start. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeremy absolutely freaking kills this. Obviously,
Smokes
they get 4 out of the
Yeah, they do get 4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think he does 2 of them by himself, doesn't he?
I mean, I didn't see Sydney do any of them.
Well, I know she helped him with the first. I just mean like he got them by himself. I know she helped him with the first one. And then I'm pretty sure she was on her way up with the second one when she fell. And so then the other 2, he did by himself.
Did he do 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5?
4 out of 5.
So he did 3 by himself then.
Well, I think they got the 2 up. Oh
2.
No. Yeah, the 2 up. And then she would have fallen with the third one. And then he would have went down for the
final 2.
So
that's still super impressive, especially when you see guys like Will, who are relatively similar size from what we can tell on television. And he made 3 trips, but he was gassed.
Yes. And I will give Will that's fun to say. I will give Will credit because I know he only got credit for 2 because that third block fell as he was falling.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get it to stay up there behind that fucking flimsy ass little
bungee cord
thing of floss that they had to hold the blocks up there.
Jake had to catch it as it was Jacob. I almost said, but Jake had to catch it and put it back up there twice. It was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm giving Will credit for 3 because he got it all the way up there. Like he made the trip up there. He just couldn't get it to stay up there. But yeah, Jeremy absolutely killed this. So big shout out to him. And then I think we had 3 teams that didn't get any. And I know Gabe was one, Gabe and whoever his partner was, I can't remember. I don't remember all the partners right now, guys.
I think it was America.
Oh, it might have been.
But I know the other one was Leroy and whoever his partner was.
And then CT and Michaela.
And here, let's get into this because this is the biggest part of this is we get a little bit before the daily of Michaela and Nani talking about Michaela throwing it because that's what the house wants. Really, it's what the rookies want for justice for Leka. And so we get out there and CT starts climbing and he gets about 3/4 of the way up. Everybody's giving him shit. Turbo's over there. Oh, CT can climb now, and it's just like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah. First of all, just shut the fuck up, Turbo. Second of all, like I'm not going to go into like a big educational speech or rant here. But if you don't understand the difference between climbing against a solid wall that has like foot and handholds versus a rope ladder hanging in the water, you're just showing your ignorance. And I'm not even sorry to say that because they are 2 very, very, very different things. Like
they are
very different things. So yeah, I really hated this whole moment. It was so fucking ridiculous to watch Turbo just sit there and like whatever.
I think it also strikes a nerve because out of all people in all of challenge history to be considered a social pariah, CT's never been that guy.
Literally.
He's never been a liability.
No.
And now he is, as far as his physical abilities. And that's something that you would never say about CT. So it's hard for a lot of fans to understand.
Right.
With that being said, he gets about 3/4 of the way up and he says, I can't go any further. I'm freaking out, basically, and jumps off. And then he's trying to convince Michaela, come on, let's go, let's go. And, she's throwing it. So she's taking her sweet time getting down. And then he's like, wait till you spin around and you're on this side to jump. And she jumps on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And then she starts doing that like doggy paddle. And he's like, nobody's believing this toddler ass shit.
Yeah. No, it was absolutely ridiculous, honestly. Like the jumping or the like climbing down the wall thing, like that part had me so fucking heated because on the last Heights Over Water challenge, the one, where CT apparently threw it or whatever, Michaela jumped from the top beam.
Yeah.
Which was the same height. And she wasn't even all the way up on this thing. So like she easily could have just jumped off the wall like everybody else, but and then we had to watch it though. And I was just like, okay, can we fucking move on to something else? Like I'm sick of watching this bitch climb down the wall. I like
the part where CT started like pulling her through the water and she's like, stop, it's choking me. I would have been like, tough shit.
Look, and I just want to say, I want to address this because we actually had a conversation a couple weeks ago where we talked about, how we feel about people strategically throwing dailies to further their game, right? To make a move for their game. Mm-hmm. So, and I had said, it's not something that I like. I don't really ever like when dailies are thrown, but I understand when it's when it's necessary and you need to do it for your political move in your game. But what we said is, what makes it okay is, can you sell it? Can you still make it entertaining? And can you sell the throw? Right? I just don't feel like Michaela hit that mark, first of all. And second of all, is the throw like the move you intend on making with throwing that challenge? Is it the right, like, is it a good move to make? Right? That's kind of like how I look at these certain situations. And it's just like, I just don't understand.
So, okay, I mean, we're going to dive into this more a little bit later, but I think this is an episode with two storylines that got smashed together, right? Yes. Because I think we get fed one thing this whole first part of the episode, which is justice for Leka, justice for Leka. Everybody chanting on the cliff as he's swimming and laughing. And here's my thing. I'm not mad about Michaela throwing it because Michaela isn't tied to CT permanently.
No.
And Michaela was in a situation where she knew what the house wanted. And would it put her on the wrong end if she didn't do what the house wanted? It could have put her in a bad light.
Yeah, absolutely.
So her throwing it was in the best interest of Michaela's game at that moment. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the whole thing, like, well, it's okay for Michaela to throw it, but not for CT. It's revenge, people. It's going to happen. People want revenge. It is what it is.
I get it.
And I'm not mad at someone for throwing it unless it's like really blatant, like Shane just going and sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at least try. And I'll give Michaela the effort that she did try to sell it. You gotta put some emotion. There were fatalities.
I don't think she tried to sell it.
She didn't.
All.
She sold it a little bit with the.
She might as well have just sat there and fucking played rock, paper, scissors like CT did on War of the Worlds. She didn't sell it at all, in my opinion. But
I think she tried to sell it enough, but it gave CT the courtesy to know what was going on. He understood, and he read it really quick.
There are two different storylines that are being sold with this episode, right? Yeah. The top layer, the one that's being sold to the fans for what it is, right? And then there's the underlying everything that's going on underlying. So addressing this top layer, I just want to say the thing that bugs me the most about this whole like justice for Leka movement that they were doing to get revenge, to get revenge on CT for Leka, somebody that they've known for 5 fucking minutes. I just don't get it because earlier in the season, all these rookies and all these, mainly the Survivor players like Dee and Sydney, and then I think like Leo was big on this one, and a bunch of the other rookies and stuff. But they were making all these comments at a nomination ceremony about how, you know, the vets just, you know, vote and play for their friends, and they don't, you know, it's not like strategic for what's best. It's just for, you know, whoever's baby shower or wedding you went to, and they just baby jack each other was the phrase that Sydney so eloquently came up with. And I just don't understand how this is any fucking different.
It's not. It's
like,
only.
it's just. I'm like, y'all said you would never do this. You would never do this. And here we are, what, 4 or 5 episodes later? Yeah. And like, just, it's a joke. It's a fucking joke. This whole justice for Leka thing is a fucking joke to me.
It is. And look, we talked about this outside and I explained it. Like, as a guy, if you've ever played pickup sports and like, for instance, we'll say football, for instance, and you say, you know, somebody fumbled and they're like, well, I didn't fumble that, blah, blah, blah. And they end up getting ignored. It's a fumble. Ball gets turned over. The next play, the other team throws an interception and the team that fumbled gets the ball right back. There's a term we use. It's called the ball never lies. The ball will tell the truth kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leka unfortunately went into elimination, right? But at the end of the day, it was the elimination was up to Leka. She could have easily won that and came back in.
Exactly.
And that's my thing. The ball doesn't lie. If Leka wasn't meant to go home, she would have won the fucking elimination. CT didn't throw the elimination.
Exactly.
He threw the daily.
Exactly. So, and that's my thing. And and I know you and I have talked about this a little bit.
Threw the daily. He didn't throw the daily.
He didn't throw the daily, you guys. But yeah. Quote unquote, for those who aren't watching video. But you and I have talked about this a little bit, and it's definitely something that's been, you know, heavily debated in the fandom over the last few weeks since everything happened with Leka and CT at that daily is, you know, a lot of what I've seen is people trying to be like clever and snarky and be like, oh, you know, Leka would have won that elimination if she wasn't busy carrying CT on her back. And it's like, first of all, look, if there was if the daily was something where Leka had to exert extra physical effort than she would have had to do if he got up there or didn't get up there, I would understand that. But
you can make an argument that she did because she had to do all the climbing up there by herself.
Right, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, even if CT had just gotten up to the beam, that was what she was asking him for there towards the end, is just get up here. And had he gotten up there, they wouldn't have been in last, right? It would have been Izzy and Leroy who got last place. So going based off of that, just based off of him just getting out of the water and to the top beam, it still would have been the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and eliminations are not on the same day as the dailies.
It's like 3 days later.
Yeah, it's like at least 2 days later. It's at least like 48 hours later.
Yeah.
And so I don't accept that excuse that she lost the daily she lost the elimination because she had to get a couple extra runes on the daily. And like, I don't accept that excuse. Leka lost the elimination, and that is unfortunate because I really actually liked her and I would love to see more of her. But that's just the fact of the matter.
And the person she competed against in the elimination, Olivia, had to do the same daily. It's not like Olivia was exempt from doing that daily.
And that's the thing, is Olivia had to do that daily as well. You know, so it's like, it's not like Leka was
at a pure disadvantage.
Exactly. Had this like massive disadvantage. And then the other thing that I kind of wanted to address, just because it's really, really bugging me, is all these vets jumping on this justice for Leka train. And the funny part is most of the vets that are jumping on this justice for Leka train are vets who have literally never accomplished anything. Like Nani, like Janae.
Not even that. It's half of them have gotten put in good positions because of CT.
Literally. Like, first of all, I don't understand
Like Ashley?
Yeah. And I don't understand Nani's issue with CT. Like, I really don't understand this woman. I don't understand.
He paid for your drinks in Mexico, bitch. Sorry. You should cut to that scene real quick.
Oh my God. That scene was crazy. And then he got in that fight with Camilla out front.
Yeah.
And then Nani got into it and started freaking out. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't really understand it. But like John Haig, like really kind of pissed me off. There was like that pre-daily confessional she was doing with Turbo where they like talk to them before they do the daily. And Turbo was like talking about like, oh, if CT can't climb, can't swim, can't whatever, then like, why is he even here? And John A like joined in on that, like finishing his sentence for him kind of thing. And I was like, girl, just be so fucking for real right now. Just sit the fuck down, take several seats, because we really don't want to go back through your history.
Well, and here, I'm going to give her the same pass I'm going to give Derek K, which is because Derek K, after he does his vote in nominations, he goes justice for Leka.
But just be quiet. Like, why? I don't
because you're playing the game. And at that moment, she's playing with her partner, Turbo, who she is not aligned with. She's aligned more so with Olivia and Derek, not Turbo, but she's stuck with him that time. Yeah, so I'll give her the pass on that.
I don't know. I don't.
But
because to me, just be quiet. Why'd you have to finish his sentence? Why couldn't you have just stood there and smiled and being pretty? That's it. You know, like there was no need for it. And it's just funny to me because like you said, these people all met Leka like 2 weeks ago, right? And I'm more willing to give the rookies a pass because they met Leka 2 weeks ago and they also met, you know, all the vets 2 weeks ago. But these vets have known each other for years.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they all get along.
No, they don't. But I'm just saying, like
I don't know the history of John A and CT.
There really isn't one. And that's the point, is it's like,
well, just because there isn't one on camera doesn't mean there's not a type of relationship off camera. Just because you work with someone doesn't mean you like them all.
I'm not saying you have to like them all. I'm just saying it's weird to take somebody's side who first of all, John A didn't even come until like one episode before Leka left?
Yeah.
She literally knew her for less than a full week.
Yeah. Well, no.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
I think
we never saw them hanging out or like anything like that. So it's just weird to just hop on the like fucking train.
That's why I don't think it's about Leka. I think it's about her being partnered with Turbo.
Okay. I don't want to have this argument with you anyway, because you're not understanding what I'm saying. I understand it's not about Leka, and I understand that. I'm saying, why say anything?
And I get what you're saying. Like, it's shitty because she jumped on a bandwagon, Derek jumped on a bandwagon, and I know, and I am more willing to give Derek a pass than I am John A, because Derek was doing it in front of the whole house and had to cast a vote.
Oh, I'm less of a pass for Derek in my opinion, because they're actual fucking friends. Like, you and CT was going fucking
but
friends.
CT's already in elimination at that point.
I understand that. So exactly, why say anything? There was no need to say anything other than your vote.
I guess it just, to me, playing the game. You're trying to make sure that you're staying not in the crosshairs of people that have won multiple fucking dailies when you haven't won any.
I'm just saying.
So
I'm not saying be on CT's side. I'm just saying just shut the fuck up. Sometimes it's better to just shut the fuck up and not say anything.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's all I'm saying is just shut the fuck up. There was no need for these vets to take anybody's side in the situation.
No, and I get where you're coming from. I'm just playing the devil's advocate to play the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So ends up, like we said, no surprise, Jeremy and Sydney end up winning and getting first place. We didn't
get any other real placements. Like, they didn't tell us anything.
They were all so close. I mean outside of the bottom of three.
They gave us the times, I guess, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna go through and calculate.
I wasn't making a pie chart on that shit.
Nope, not gonna happen.
CT and Michaela do come in last. It was like by like 20 seconds, though. It was actually relatively close. I do remember that because
I don't remember.
Because I think Leroy and them were like at 10:50 or 9:55 or something like that, and Michaela and CT were at like 10:20. You know, so it was really quick.
Yeah.
Anyways, after the daily, this is the part that actually pissed me off, and with this one, just kind of shut up. because you're in a confessional, Aviv starts talking about how this isn't just justice for Leka. This is justice for everybody. What the fuck do you mean by that?
What the fuck does that even mean?
Like, who did CT do wrong? When did he do Aviv wrong?
And like, literally, like, I'm sorry, but who even are you?
And on top of that, Aviv, you shouldn't be concerned at all because you're a vet woman. You're not going to get paired with CT after this week.
Yeah.
You're going to get paired with a rookie. So if anything, if you think CT is a crap player this season because he came in out of shape, that's to your benefit to keep him in because you could beat him. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, and that definitely, puts our, like I was saying earlier, we have like this top layer that's being sold to the fans as part of the show is the reason for why things went the way they went this episode. But I think that this is actually like the first sign that we get that there's something else underlying, because it just doesn't make sense when you start breaking it down. It doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, why if CT sucks so bad, why would Turbo and Jeremy and Cedric and whoever the fuck else is working on their little alliance, why would any of those guys want to get CT out? That'd be the guy I'd want to run against in the fucking final.
Well, and here's my thing is, CT, even out of shape CT right now, is what, third on the leaderboard for the men?
Third on the leaderboard, and we've seen CT win 2 finals in dad bod era.
Well, in this shape.
He won 1 in dad bod era, and he won 1 in like his a little bit more fit of dad bod era for Invasions.
Yeah, Invasions very much remind me of more like Double Agents CT.
Double Agents, yeah.
Where War of the Worlds 2 is a lot closer to this.
Much closer to this. And even Dirty 30, I know he didn't win that final.
Still made the final.
But he made the whole season and, came in third in the final, ran the whole final, finished it all. And he was in this shape,
And that's my thing is like CT is going to get you at least third or second at worst in a final if you makes it there.
Exactly, which is what really, really shocked me about the conversation that Jeremy has with D.
This to me is a prime example of you don't know what you're talking about. You haven't done your research. And YouTube videos are not it. No. You actually have to watch a few of the seasons. And look, do I think anybody that is getting ready to go on the show or is a potential rookie on the show listens to us?
No, but probably not.
If you do, take this one fucking piece of advice. Go watch the last 5 seasons leading up to this. Because if you did watch the last 5 seasons, you know what you would see? CT coming in being the social pariah and then winning the season. CT coming back the next season, nobody looking at him, and him winning the fucking final.
You know what else you'll see? Turbo sucking. Because he sucks. Like, I don't understand the, like, fucking royal treatment this man is receiving from the cast this season. I am so confused. I'm so confused about it because I'm like, where he's getting the bananas treatment from all these rookies. And I get it. I get he's the most experienced, like vet there. And I get that he's like top of the leaderboard right now, but it's like, does that say something about him or does that just say something about the rest of the vets that they cast this season?
Well, and on top of that was what Jeremy's saying to D about how Theo's a better choice than CT as a partner.
Where?
It's like, no offense to Theo. He had a phenomenal rookie season, but
that's it.
That's all he's done.
Yeah.
And he was partnered with Kara that season. Peak Kara.
Yeah. Peak. Like prime Kara.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And he did well in the final. Would have won it if Turbo had to do the same the same parts of the final he did. But with that being said, since then it's not a strong outing.
No, it's really not. And I just don't understand. Like, Theo is literally in last place on the leaderboard for points. He hasn't come in first for any daily.
He hasn't come in second in any of them.
He clearly has, an injury to his knee that is affecting him. And, regardless of the MRI results that come out later in the episode, it's still obviously affecting him and hurting him because he's limping around. He had to be seen by the doctor. The fact he had to have an MRI, obviously something isn't like 100%, like his knee isn't 100%, right? There's so many things that go into this. And like Theo's he's ran two finals.
Well, he's ran one. He got injured in the very first portion of the final and wore the world championship.
Right. Okay.
With Sarah Lucina.
Yeah, that's right. So it's just, I don't know. This whole, like, it really confused me why Jeremy was trying to convince Dee that Theo would be better to save and have as a partner over CT, especially because getting Theo out would weaken Olivia more than getting CT out. Right. So that kind of threw me off. And then we immediately have Jeremy talking about how he wants the other person to be Derek Chavez because Derek said Jeremy's name last week. And I'm like, okay, so hold on, like, because none of this makes any sense now. Now you want to put CT in and you want to put Derek in, or like you want to make sure, obviously CT is going in, but like you want to make sure that Derek goes in against CT. Who's your target here?
And that's what I was saying earlier is it's a story. It's two stories pumped into one episode because the first half is justice for Leka. And then the second half really boils down to weaken Olivia's game even more by trying to get one of her alliance members out.
Right. So then my question is, and honestly, like when you start really breaking the episode down in that, under that pretense, right? Under the pretense that this was about weakening Olivia's side and getting at Derek Chavez and putting Derek and Theo up against each other for a vote. So Olivia had to make a decision, right? Mm-hmm. Brilliant. So what is why throw the elimination and get CT down there?
Well, I think this was just happenstance because Will was under the assumption when they made the plan to throw it that he was the hangnail and Theo would be competing. So that's where that happened. Now, if they go into this daily knowing that Theo's the hangnail, I think Michaela doesn't throw the daily.
They knew it before they started the daily. Why wouldn't they just...
But everything's been set in motion the day before. You know what I mean? That's a lot of... Look what happened when they tried to change the vote before deliberation last week.
I just feel like it would have been an easy just don't throw. You know what I mean? Like, and then she just doesn't throw it. I don't know. It just seemed really weird. Like I don't understand the justice for Leka thing. I don't know why they decided to like use Leka's name as this like cover, this like front for what they were actually
like
doing
she's
in the house.
Martyr.
Yeah, it's just really, really weird. I don't know. It just made me really question the rookies' strategy, right? Yeah. Because the thought is there, the plan is there, but the execution is not thought out, or at least it's not being painted out that way in the edit. And that's all we really have to go off of. So,
well, let's jump into the club scene. And this is really going to be, I think, the last part we really talk about this justice for Leka portion. In the club scene, this is really where the justice for Leka part is kind of coming to a head. And that's when CT and D are talking to each other. And it's really D telling CT that the perception of him in the house, that he's conniving, not trustworthy, and that he did throw this daily to get Leka out, which is just asinine because once again, we're looking at this as it's not vets versus new threats. It's vets and new threats. Yeah. So you're going to be partnered with the opposite, right?
Yes.
So why would CT want to get rid of one of the strongest new threats? It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense. And that's the thing is like CT doesn't come into this game and just do shit, right? The CTs, the Jordans, the Bananas, the Wesses, like these experienced vets, they know what they're doing before they show up. Like Bananas already was introduced to D and Sydney and all of them before he even showed up to 41. Now, I know everybody out there doesn't like to acknowledge these kinds of things. Y'all like to pretend that, you know, these people just actually meet on set for the very first time. And that's not true. They know exactly who's going on the seasons before they go. And all these reality people know each other. Survivor, Big Brother, Challenge, Love Island, they all know each other. They all run in the same circles, go to the same events, get sponsored by the same people, managed by the same agencies. It's how it works, right? So it's like, I don't know.
I did love what CT said in his confessional. Though.
I did love his confessional.
He goes, I understand Dee is upset because her friend that she met 2 weeks ago had to go home because of me, but get over it at this point.
Yeah. I love how he says, my presence in this house is polarizing.
Yeah. And
yes,
look,
1000%.
And this is kind of uncharted territory for CT and for us as a viewer, because I was trying to think about it. Since he came back on Invasion of Champs, there's only been 2 seasons, this being one of them, where he's targeted and heavily targeted. And the other one was Double Agents, and it was really heavy in the beginning, and then towards the end, and then he made the final.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one, he's very heavily targeted, and it's kind of, like I said, unknown ground for us to cover.
It definitely feels like old days with CT, but just like the opposite, right? Like he was always being targeted back in the day because
he was too good.
He was too good.
Yeah.
And then, but I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't understand where this sudden, and that's what makes me think that a lot of this is, God, there's a word for it, and I just can't think of it. But a lot of this is just like
up front
showman, right? Like
it's wag the dog. Look.
Turbo just being a showman. A lot of like the whole fight with CT blowing up on Derek for a vote.
They do this.
That didn't affect him. Like it just feels very like showy for the cameras.
So in politics, it's called wag the dog, and a prime example of it is we were kids when it happened, but remember Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky? Mm-hmm. When all that stuff was getting ready to come out, all of a sudden we went to war with Kosovo. So it was, hey, stop paying attention to that. Look, we're bombing people. It's what make the people look at something else.
Right.
Kind of a diversion, but more for reality.
I was talking about something different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just talking about just how he's behaving. I don't think any of this is real. I don't think that Turbo gives a fuck that Derek said his name, and that him saying his name, it resulted in literally nothing. But he's going to make a show of it in front of the camera because he wants to be the face this season. Like, I think a lot of Turbo this season is showman. Now, 100%. I think what you're referring to is the justice for Leka. Yes, I think that was a diversion. It was a distraction away. I just don't understand why they picked that. If you want to take a shot at Olivia's side, like
just take it.
Why would you put in the person that you say is the worst competitor here this season? Like their strategy makes no sense. So is CT the worst or is he good? Like anyway, that's kind of more what I was trying to get to, but sorry, go ahead.
So let's get into one final thing, and then we'll lighten it up before we go to break, which is Derek goes and talks to Jeremy and Sydney, and he gives a hell of a pitch, which is, look, I'm one of the better guys here. I've got a lot of points for one of the vet males. I've been in the last 2 finals that I've competed on. I beat Bananas in the last final. The only person I lost to was Jordan fucking Wisely, who's the GOAT.
Yeah, who isn't. Everybody's going to lose.
Yeah, and if Jordan was on this season, everybody's still losing to Jordan.
Yeah.
So it's in your guys' best interest, your Sydney, your partner D, and your other alliance members to keep me on board because you're going to want to work with me, which is a hell of a pitch, and they should have recognized it. I think it's just too much Jeremy and you said my name 2 weeks ago, so it's payback.
Yeah. And it's like, look, I get it. But again, this is what I mean when I say that, like, and I had said this a few weeks ago. We were, having our little Jeremy fan club meeting here on the podcast. And I had said, that I really think that Jeremy has the potential to become like an all around challenger like Jordan, where he's just kind of good at everything. And then I said, the only thing we haven't really gotten to see him in is like the social, political strategy type stuff. Yeah. How is he going to move through strategy? And this is one of the moments where I was like, okay, so he definitely has the mindset. And that doesn't mean that, not to say that he can't obviously learn and grow. I still think that Jeremy has a potential to be one of those all around impeccable, one of the best challengers kind of thing. But instead of targeting and going after using your win, using your power, and this is a powerful week because you're not saving somebody, you are nominating somebody to sit on the block and get voted for. So instead of using that power to target somebody who could be a huge threat to you in the final, you use it for revenge for somebody saying your name a couple weeks ago that didn't even result in
you going in.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, but and this is hard for me to say because I don't know if Jeremy has the same kind of philosophy as like a Kylan or a Rossio where they
going against the best,
the Goku mentality where they want to go against the best person at their best ability.
Right.
If Jeremy has that, then he would want Derek C in there, right?
And again,
but if he doesn't want that, Derek C might not be your best choice. And why wouldn't you? Because Derek C didn't finish in third going up the mountain.
Right.
It was another rookie. Why aren't you trying to get one of your main rookie competitors out?
Yeah. And that's the thing is it's like, I mean, I get that they're trying to really, I think that like as much as the show is called Vets and New Threats, I think that the new threats are very much looking at it the way we were versus, right? Like I think if it was up to them, they'd get rid of all the vets and they'd have an all rookie fucking final.
And then they're all DQ'd because they don't have a vet partner.
They don't have a vet partner.
You know who the vets need right now? They need Devin.
I knew it. Yes. They need Devin.
Devin is
to unify them.
Yeah. There's only one man that could do this job. Say? Yes, of course it was.
That's actually kind of funny. No, they do. They need Devin. Devin would have been great on this season just to bring that unification of the vets and fucking do some like these rookies need Devin. They need Devin to learn about strategy, about deals.
Could you imagine if Devin and Michelle were both there with that Survivor connection too to Sydney and Dee?
Oh God, and Michaela, yeah. Oh, it would.
That would have been really interesting. Anyways,
so interesting.
We're gonna go take a break and talk about this for the next 30 minutes, but we'll be back with you guys here in just a second to jump into House deliberations, nominations, and of course the elimination. Stay tuned. We definitely have to adjust your lineup tonight because I just saw on ESPN that Worthy is out tomorrow.
Motherfuck.
It's okay. I did some research already. There's some folks out there.
All right, let me get in there really quick.
No. Let's do it after because I'm gonna have to go through and look at it with you.
Oh, okay.
But let's just remind me when we get off the recording that we have to do this. I'm getting to the point now where fantasy football and my team just control my emotions all day on Sunday. And it's rough when your fantasy team's 0-2 and your real life team is 1-1. It's tough.
You should have seen me I know you fell asleep, but you should have seen me watching the Michigan game today.
Oh, shit.
That was interesting.
How'd they do?
It was a good game. They did all right. But it was very like back and forth the whole game.
Oh, was it?
Like there was like 3 to 7 point difference the whole game. Just bop, 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 back and forth all day. And all game. And I was just like, Michigan won by 3 points, but yeah, go blue.
Go blue.
But yeah, no, it was, I was friggin' stressing the whole time.
So I have a question. Let's say we're going out to like a formal party. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like adult party, at a nice place, drinks, all of that.
Okay.
And we get there and you see another woman wearing the same exact outfit as you. Is there right off top animosity right there and then? Or is it one of those like, oh, look at us twinning kind of thing?
Yeah, animosity.
Well, you know how it's always brought up like, oh, I can't believe she's wearing the same thing I wore, you know, kind of thing. And the reason I bring that up is because you watching the Michigan-Nebraska game, Nebraska has a guy that named Dylan Raiola, I believe is his name.
Okay.
And if you look at Dylan, you'll notice that he has a striking resemblance to another player in the Midwest who wears the same number, also with white and red. And that's Patrick Mahomes. They both wear number 15. And that's not where the similarities end. If you look at them, they have the same exact haircut, same exact hairstyle. If you look at their celebrations, they're the exact same.
Oh, like their little dance thing.
Yeah, when they get a first down or like.
That's
and I know imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but it's like, dude's whole personality is Patrick Mahomes.
Aww.
And
kid.
And I'm going to give you some extra work to put a side by side of them. And now they're not identical twins, but you can tell there's some copying going on. It's like,
is he the quarterback too?
Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Nebraska.
It's literally like, hey, you could copy my homework, but change it up a little bit. And he didn't change it up.
And he didn't change it at all.
He didn't
even change the handwriting. Just copy.
I caught part of the game, and I watched him throw a sidearm pass to like a screen, and I was like,
throw like Pat?
I was like, you really, you didn't have to sidearm that. You could have just thrown it normal, but you did that for a reason.
You chose to do this.
You chose to do this.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Anyways, it's funny to see that influence so quickly.
Also, speaking of fantasy, speaking of fantasy football, just a quick update for all of our friends out there. Alexis has officially agreed to play fantasy next year with us. Woo! We got her.
I'm really pushing on her naming her team Piss in the Field.
Yes. Piss in the Field, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of fantasy, shout out to Clint, who's a listener. He wrote me up on Instagram and let me know that after hearing my team name, asked me about my Penix. He decided to use said name as well, which I'm very happy that he chose. Hopefully, it doesn't lend the same record as my team has, which is 0-2. I hope you have much more success with that. There's this meme that's going around, and it goes, the Atlanta Falcons once again have a left-handed quarterback who's black, whose first name is Michael.
Oh, no.
And last name is one letter away from being a male genitalia. Michael Vick and Michael Penix.
That's actually kind of funny. I didn't even notice that.
It's really good. I love it. I love it a lot.
That's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
Who's Penix playing? Is he on the Falcons?
Yeah, he's a quarterback for the Falcons.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, who fucking knows anymore? That's all you said yesterday was Penix.
Because ask me about my Penix.
Make that into a game.
Don't mess around and pull on my Penix. Look, like fantasy football team names are some of the best part of fantasy football. I had one year I was Kibbles and Vic.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
You had a really, what was it last year? I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Carry On My Wayward Son.
That was a good one.
For Carry On Johnson, who you don't know is actually connected to the challenge world as well. Last year's, what was it? It was...
What's been your favorite one?
My favorite one? It was when we first met. There was a coach for the New York Giants, and then he was on the Jaguars as like a GM. But when the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, he was their head coach. His name's Tom Coughlin. And for a while there, my team name was Turn Your Head and Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
It's a classy one.
You and your sexual innuendos and your team names.
I'm a 13-year-old at heart. Like, God forbid, like, it never happened, but if I could have made it happen during the time they played, I wanted to get Todd Gurley, the running back, and then Cooper Cup. And then I could have named my team 2 girlies, 1 cup.
Oh my God. I do remember you saying that once. Jesus Christ.
It's
Oh
horrible.
my God.
It's horrible.
Yeah, whatever. At least we have fun.
It is fun. Let's dive back into the challenge. Where we left off was right after the club scene, we go into house deliberations. And we get this scene where all the vet girls and rookie guys are sitting around and basically talking about how Olivia is telling them, hey, I'm only going to pick you if we have a discussion or if you talk with me. And you have to prove why you're going to be a good partner, which, I mean, if that's true, that's a lot of hubris.
It is, but like, I don't know. Like, I can't say that it didn't happen just because we didn't see it, obviously, because we know like a lot of things happen off camera, or, you know, they're just not made into the edit. But I don't know. It's just hard for me to like envision that. Right. And I always feel like when people are like re-delivering a message, obviously, like it's the game of telephone, right? Things are going to change. There's
your side, their side, and the real side.
And like tone and intention aren't always transferred in those types of situations. And so like, could Olivia have seriously like walked up with that much fucking confidence and hubris and said this to these people? Sure. I don't fucking know her, so I can't say that like she wouldn't do it. But I just see it in like, I could foresee it happening in a different situation, which is something that we have seen almost every single like time where we have a format where the challengers get to pick a partner and that partner is going to be like a long-term all season kind of thing. Is they'll have nights like this in the house where they all talk and it's like, you know, why would you be the right partner for me to pick? Why would you be the right partner for me to pick? Like, this isn't anything out of the ordinary for this type of situation. So it's like, you know, did she like, what I would want to know is what was the exact wording? Like, I wish we could have seen one of these conversations that she, you know, allegedly had with one of these rookies, because I would want to see the wording and the tone that was used in the situation, right? Before, like, I'm like, oh, fucking Olivia, what are you doing? Like, why are you behaving like?
Here's my thing. She's proved that, because like we've said this whole episode, a rookie man is going to have to pick a vet female, that she is the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. You just can't stop talking about penises.
It doesn't help that I'm talking about Olivia too. Penis. If you don't know about the penis game, send us a message. We'll tell you about it. It's a long story and we're trying to get this episode done. But anyways, she's like the cream of the crop when it comes to the vet women. And as a rookie male, you want to be partnered with someone who's going to do good.
Yeah.
So them all sitting there like, I don't want to be partnered with her. Like, motherfucker, I'm not even on the show and I want to be partnered with her because I know that gives me the best shot at winning.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is it's like, I don't know, like I said earlier, I can understand like people being nervous about being partnered with her because you know, they're worried about being targeted because they're partners with her, right? But if you look at it from a situation of, let's say, Jeremy, right?
It's perfect.
If Jeremy partners with Olivia, not only does he kind of loop himself into her side of things, right? But he kind of puts a stop to that whole issue there.
Well, and exactly, because let's say that they do get partnered, right?
Like, it neutralizes the situation because
100%.
None of Jeremy's friends, his alliance members, none of them are going to fucking, you know,
go after her.
Other than maybe like the men, whatever.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? They're not going to want to vote her in if Jeremy's partnered with her, and her friends aren't going to vote her in.
And on the flip side, he goes to her and says, hey, we can nominate almost anyone else except for Sydney and Turbo, because Sydney's like my number one, just like I won't go after Theo.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? So like,
it would make sense. Yeah. And it's a lot of shit talking for no reason. And Olivia overhears it and she kind of gets in her feels and she starts talking to Theo. And I know this made you feel a certain type of way.
It did. I think the thing that bugged me is because like I just put myself in Olivia's situation, in Olivia's shoes. And it felt like she came to her man, right? she came to her man for comfort and support in that moment. And from what we see of the conversation, it just kind of felt like Theo just overlooked that and just kind of made it about him. And I understand like he's going through things as well right now with, you know, his knee injury. He's tied to Olivia, so he's automatically a target, you know, so I know he's going through his own shit and his stresses and stuff. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just one of those people where it's like, if somebody needs you, especially somebody that like, you know, you love and you're like in a partnership with, like not in the show, but like in real life, you're a couple, you're, you know, it just came off like, I don't know. It just came off very selfish. I wasn't a fan of how he treated the situation. She really needed support in that moment, and it just didn't feel like he gave it to her. I'm not as upset about it now as I was when the episode aired. Like, I was not happy. I was like, fuck you, Theo. Shut the fuck up.
There were some circumstances behind that, though.
But yeah, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I understand, you know, and I understand the situation. The house is full of pressure. And, you know, it's not always easy to know like the right things to do and to say, especially like when your loved one is experiencing something like what Olivia was feeling in that moment. But it just, like I said, I just wish that he had done something more to kind of support her in that moment, just as a boyfriend, you know?
And for full clarification, what happened was, he's laying at the edge of the bed. She's kind of crying, and she's explained to him that like she overheard them talking about how no one wants to be her partner, and she's upset about the situation, and then, you know, and everything else that's going on this episode. And he makes a remark. It's like he basically gives her some tough love and makes a smart ass remark about it. And to his defense, and I know we've talked about this, I said, one, yeah, he's going through all that with her because that's his woman, but he's also dealing with the fact that he might be going into elimination at this point. He doesn't know. He might not even be allowed to do elimination. He might not get medically cleared. So he's going home. So he's got a lot of pressure there as well. Yeah. On top of the fact that he's one of the lowest scoring vet males. So he's going to get partnered with someone that is less than ideal in his situation. We also don't know what their level of playfulness and how they talk to each other in their private spaces either.
And that's fair. You know, it's fair. I just, like I said, just in that situation, it just felt like, I don't know. It felt like he was trying to make the situation about himself. And I'm like, hey, man, start your own conversation. Okay. Start your own vent sesh. Don't just take over Olivia's. God.
I also think about the fact that if people didn't know us and they saw us talking to each other when we're being playful,
that's true.
They would think we are the worst fucking couple ever.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Anyways, we finally get into going into nominations, and this might be line of the night. Oh my
God.
It's Ashley's confessional, and she goes, with Theo being the hangnail and CT losing, all we need is Sydney and Jeremy to put in someone else from that side, and then Bob's your uncle. I'm not really sure what that saying means. Bob's your uncle? Steve's my uncle. But anyways.
Dude, look, I don't care what anybody says. You can like Ashley or you can hate Ashley, but her confessionals are top tier. I don't care what anybody says.
Ashley is a reality TV star. She knows how to create reality TV, whether it's her confessionals this season, which have been phenomenal.
Amazing.
I've talked about it ad nauseum. The fact when she was on Spies Lies and she saw the camera panning down the bar, she turned and winked and just gave it that look. She knows what she's doing. She makes great TV and
she does. And like
I love seeing her on there. She creates drama.
Yeah, whether you like her or not, though, like you Ashley is part of a dying breed, right? She 100%. Is like one of the last remaining, like she comes from like the last era of like true reality stars.
Where they're nobody and then they get brought on.
Right, exactly. They're nobody, they get brought on, and it was real. It was, it was
a lot of alcohol.
Yes.
A lot of alcohol. So once we get into nominations, Theo gets medically cleared by TJ, letting him know that he can compete. He can compete in this elimination. So They start talking, and Derek calls them out and says, "Justice for Leka is bullshit, and this is just a shot at me because, you know, Jeremy's feelings got hurt by me calling him out a couple weeks ago." I think that was in an actual confessional, not in front of the people, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so too.
They eventually nominate Derek, saying that they want to make sure CT gets out of the house and stays out, where it's like, well, that's a bullshit excuse.
That's such a lie, dude.
Because if you really wanted CT out, you would put up either one of the top rookie men like Gabe or Will, who's got the size disadvantage isn't there, or you put up someone like Turbo, who's got the experience and
Turbo, Leroy.
Yeah.
Like there were so many options, but no, they specifically, you know, wanted to target Derek C. They wanted to target Olivia. And this is kind of what we were talking about earlier with like the, you know, the underlying story of this episode. And ironically, I guess, so first of all, the challenge official Instagram page posted like a, you know, an extra like behind the scenes clip of Derek Chavez and CT talking at the bar, and CT talking about, you know, how great Derek is and how underestimated he is, et cetera, et cetera. Rick actually commented on that post and said something along the lines of, you know, this justice for Leka is, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
I said this justice for Leka bullshit is a scam. It's not really about that. It's about taking a shot at Olivia to weaken her alliance and get Derek out.
Exactly. And then I actually sorry, go ahead.
For full clarification, not that my comment means anything, but the fact that Derek, Olivia, Michaela, and I want to say CT all liked the comment makes me think that we're probably on the right track with this.
Yes, exactly. And then I also, we got a message a little bit earlier today. So shout out to our follower on Instagram, Uncle Mac and Cheeses. Great guy.
Love that name.
Lots of great debates with him. But he had replied to one of our stories where we were talking about this situation. And he said, Michaela said on her social media, quote, "Do you really think we would send in Chavez to take out CT? LOL. Was CT the nail or was he the hammer?"
She said that in her IG.
Right. Yeah. She said that in her IG. So between those two things, her liking Rick's comment, that comment that she made on her social media, you know, just a few other things, I think it's very clear that justice for Leka was just kind of a bullshit cover up. And, you know, CT was in that situation. CT was the hammer. He was, you know, they sold it as they wanted to get CT out, but their ultimate goal was actually to get Derek Chavez out and weaken Olivia's standing in the house,
which is a huge Survivor move. If Tony was here, he would, you know, sign off on that, which is you can't get the one person you want out, so you take out their strongest ally. Which it was, Derek.
And it's a great strategy. It really is.
Because if they really wanted CT out of those three, they would have put Theo in, not Derek.
Yeah, out of those three, if they wanted, it would have been Theo. They would have put Theo down there with CT, and that's actually kind of interesting. If before we actually move into the elimination, if it was Theo, do you think the results are any different?
No.
You think CT still?
If Theo was War of the Worlds 1 or 2 shape, there could be a different. But in his current endurance level and with the knee, no, I think CT still manhandles him. There's a reason that in our conversation with Wes, if you haven't heard it, go listen to our interview with Wes. It was really good. He broke this down. Yeah,
I'll link it down below because it was an early episode, so you'd have to really scroll.
It's but like episode 40 that we did.
Yeah, so I'll just link it for you guys.
But we asked him about him doing a pole wrestle with Kyle, and he goes, who would win. Obviously, Wes said he would win, but he goes, look, it's really not that fair because Kyle outweighs me by like 25, 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the duel, I mean, that's like the first individual winning season, one of the most memorable seasons. I mean, you have a pole wrestle with Derek, who some people consider the pole wrestle like god of the challenge, which you beat him in. And on top of that, you were the first.
I'm the pole wrestle god.
I stand corrected, and you're right. You are. I can't really argue that. I have no argument for that either.
Beat Derek, so I mean,
I would love to see you and Kyle do a pole wrestle. I think that would be one for the ages.
That would be good.
What's challenging though about pole wrestle is the key word wrestle. What is one of the main components about real wrestling is weight classes. There's a reason why that entire sport is broken down to like 4-pound increments. It's because every pound matters.
Yes,
and
it does.
so when you like Kyle is I'm very average like size, and I'm not small, but I'm not big. But Kyle's a big man. He's probably got 4 inches on me and at least 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so not only is he gritty and would be good and is good at pole wrestle, period, but he's also just a much bigger man. And so it's, I would beat Kyle's ass. I beat Kyle's ass at everything. Whatever Kyle is really good at, I still beat his ass. He's got a new baby son. And Kyle is my baby son. Like he is, I am Kyle's zaddy when it comes to anything and everything.
Oh my God.
And including pole wrestle. But if I was to lose, it'd be a weight class thing.
In the world of like wrestling, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, huge. That's like a whole weight class.
That's a whole, maybe 2 weight classes, depending on.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, CT probably has Theo right now by 40 pounds.
Right.
And it's not like CT is just fat and no muscle.
No.
He's a big, strong guy anyways.
Yeah, just naturally.
So, no, I don't think it changes it, but I think Theo it might have gone 2-1.
So here's my question that I'm going to propose to you, and also to all of you out there listening and watching. Let us know, comment down below with your thoughts. Who from the house this season could have beat CT in that pole wrestle?
Are we talking
vet or rookie? It doesn't matter. I'm just curious, who you think would have been a good show to put down
Derek
there.
C full health has a chance.
Derek K, you mean?
Or, I'm sorry, yeah, Derek K full health has a chance.
Okay. I think that would have been a fight.
But that's the only vet that I really see doing anything.
You don't think Leroy would be able to? I don't know.
I think there's just too big of a size difference. I think the real competition comes from the rookie side, and it would be Will or Gabe. They're the 2 biggest guys.
That's kind of what I was thinking is like.
But I think Gabe beats CT in a pole wrestle.
Yeah, like Gabe and CT in a pole wrestle, I think would be really interesting. I think, yes, in this current state, Gabe probably would have beat him.
But it would have been good.
It would have been a
really
good show. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Not to say that this wasn't, and
No.
we'll get into the elimination now, but I just want to clarify that I'm not at all saying that this wasn't a good showing for what it was. So,
but let's be honest. When they walk into the elimination and everybody sees it, it's a foregone conclusion on what's going to happen. We all know, and it's not because Derek isn't good. It's because CT outweighs him by probably 60 pounds, 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And Derek knew right when he walked in, and you can hear a V trying to hype him up. Like, you got this, like Cool Runnings, power, you're a bad motherfucker who doesn't take shit from nobody kind of thing. But
that was amazing.
It was great.
That fucking video you made was
here
great.
You go.
Pride. Right. Power. And I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody. Again. I see pride. Can't hear you. I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody. Once again. I see pride. Junior. I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody. That's right.
Right there. But CT knew it. CT wasn't hyped. It wasn't nostrils flaring like banana backpack or, they just let me out of my cage. I'm ready. No, he knew, and he felt bad because what we saw in that behind the scenes moment between Derek and CT is two guys that actually have a rapport and have a lot of mutual respect.
Yes.
And CT even said, look, you're really good. They undersell you and you have a real chance of winning all of this.
Yeah.
And we're really comparable. And which is really cool to hear a GOAT say that. I'm sure it made Derek feel phenomenal. Agreed,
100%.
Until Derek saw what the elimination was. Yeah. And so we get set up where it's a pole wrestle. Michaela looks at CT, smiles, and says, "You've got this, man."
I was like, bruh, dude, shut the fuck up, Michaela. Just go stand over there in the corner. Okay,
I will give her credit.
Go stand in the corner and think about what you did.
She was literally the only one clapping for CT.
I know.
Out of everybody, like Ashley wasn't clapping for, and like Ashley, you won your first championship because you were partnered with CT at the right point.
Yeah, like what? That throws me off. Ashley being against CT, and it makes me wonder. Are we not seeing something, or is everybody just mad because he's not really playing this season? Like, because clearly he's not really playing the social game. Obviously, he didn't really show up in great physical shape.
Maybe.
So, but I'm just like, what happened between Ashley and CT?
I mean, CT, I don't know the guy on a personal level, but the little bit we've talked with him, he strikes me as someone who minds his business, right? Doesn't get involved in shit that he doesn't. Sure. But maybe Ashley feels a certain type of way about Spy's lies. Maybe CT didn't stand up for her or said something. And this is just hyperbole. I've got no fucking clue. I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall. But
it's fair.
It was surprising.
Weird. Yeah, it's just odd because wasn't it Spies, Lies, and Allies where they were partners?
No,
at the
that
very
was Double Agents.
Was it Double Agents?
It was Double Agents.
And they were partners at the very beginning. She went home right away. Yeah. First elimination. But
so we get into this elimination, and look, there's not a lot to talk about. No. CT kind of ragdolls him a little bit.
I will give Derek credit though. Like he actually gave CT a much bigger fight than I thought he would.
I have a question for you on this.
Sure.
Do you think CT was giving it his 100%, or do you think he was holding back?
Honestly, I do think that he was probably holding back a little bit because he didn't want to hurt Derek. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he was holding back as far as like give Derek a chance to, I don't think it was like that. Like, oh, let me go super easy on him kind of thing. I don't think it was like that. I think it was just literally, I know I'm almost 100 pounds heavier than this dude and I don't want to hurt him. So let me just dial it back to like 80, 85 instead of 100, or something like that. Like,
I wouldn't, like, on a scale of 0 being Shane just walking over to the side and sitting and not competing, and
100 being Rogan versus Jay.
I was gonna say Theo versus Paulie.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's another good one.
Or Fessy versus Nelson.
Yeah,
but I would definitely say it was like a 7.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't not trying, but I don't think. Let me rephrase that. On a 1 being Shane sitting on the sign and 10 being Letarian, literally pile driving Ace into the ground and breaking his ribs, I would say he was a 7. He wasn't given everything, but he wasn't really not using all of his ability. He just wasn't being violent about it.
Yeah, it wasn't like, what was that Free Agents where Laurel went against like Jasmine in a balls in.
Yeah.
And she just like basically just like, she was at like 15% effort,
it wasn't
Like,
it wasn't like me playing Luke in basketball.
Exactly. No, it's like when you play Tatum.
I try harder with Luke. You can cut that and show Tatum that. But CT ends up winning this 2-0. And look, I know longtime CT fans see this and it may not register to them. But to me, the first thing I noticed wasn't CT throwing the pole in the air and yelling, yeah. He literally sat down, checked on Derek first, and then just kind of sat there and had that look like he wasn't proud of this win.
No. This one didn't feel good. It didn't look like it felt good to him.
Yeah, and that kind of just made me empathize with him even more. I mean, I feel bad for Derek, and I love that John A was the first one to run down there and give him his hug and tell him, like, you know, he did a great job, and he needs to hold his head high. He gave a hell of an effort. And honestly, anybody else in that house, I think he has a chance of really winning on this. And like CT told him, any other elimination, it's a coin flip who wins.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, like, there's quite a few things where it wouldn't even be a coin flip. Like, Derek would definitely be the favorable one if it was something like endurance or, you know, something like that. And then, you know, we get into like, you know, puzzles, it's a coin flip, you know, like, so it just kind of, it sucks that this was the elimination that we got for these two. But also at the same time, it was kind of fun to see CT in his first like real physical elimination, because we've never seen him in anything.
The closest one we had was JP and Kyle.
Right.
But that was a 2 against 1 because it wasn't JP and Kyle.
And even then it wasn't any type of like contact.
Yeah, this is the first real pole wrestle
like
that we've
one-on-one contact.
Yeah.
You know, that was obviously 1v1v1 and you just had to rip I guess it's kind of the same, but like nobody was getting picked up and slammed into the ground.
This is the most physical contact we've seen from CT since Rivals 1.
Yeah. So, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that was an elimination round, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
It's so weird because it's like so easy to think of that of Choo Choo Train as a daily, but
because it was in the middle of the day.
It was in the middle of the day, and it was like, you know, it looked like a daily.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they did that as a daily on Free Agents a couple seasons later.
Yeah. No, I do remember that.
So
So
anyway,
you know, I did like the part where Derek said bye to everybody and then looked at Sydney and was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
that was great.
Right? And I love Derek.
I do too. I am sad to see him go.
Yeah.
And look, I think me and you are both on the same page where it's just a matter of time till Derek wins one. He's too good.
He's too good, especially now. And the fact that he has all this confidence now.
And people recognize him, so he's not going to be the last partner picked or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that it's only a matter of time. As long as Derek keeps coming back, he is going to get that win.
He needs to start a rivalry with like Horacio or something. Get himself a solid male partner to run a season with.
I know. I actually saw in a comment the other day, somebody had asked Horacio if he was like going to come back to the challenge or whatever. And he was like, I'm just, you know, I'm waiting. So he's open to it. We'll see if they ever invite him back.
They'd be stupid not to. Look, there's a few vets that I would have rather seen on this season. And I'm not going to like say who they should be replacing, but like Horacio, Kylan are some of the guys I would have liked to seen on this season, because at least it would have made it more competitive between the rookies and the vets.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that being said, at this point, TJ tells CT and Michaela to go join the rest of the group and says, hey, at this point, we'd be picking partners, but we're not doing that this week because next week is an individual competition. We've got a fucking mini final. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. I'm so excited. So excited.
These rookies are about to eat some nasty shit. It's going to be funny, and they're going to have to run. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my gosh.
Look, you made a great joke on this Justice for Leka at this point, so I'll let you take it. I just find it so funny that like this whole Justice for Leka thing happened like on this episode. And again, I know this was a cover up, which is also kind of weird. Like, why are you using your friend's name as like, she's not even there and you're using her as a fucking cover? Like, that's craziness. But anyway, I think that this would have been the end of the line for her anyway, because if she couldn't make it through 5 minutes
in that elimination, how the fuck was she ever going to make it through this mini final or an actual real final? Like, so I don't know. I feel like everybody is like treating Leka being, you know, losing her elimination and going home. I feel like everybody's treating it as like this terrible thing that happened because she was going to be this like magical golden ticket to winning the final.
She wasn't.
And I just don't understand where that like thinking comes from, because to me, seeing her in that elimination only like solidified the fact that I feel like she needs more endurance training before she could win a final. Now, that being said, please fucking come back, because I would love to see Leka back.
Yeah, agreed.
I would love to see her make it through like a little further into a season, and just kind of see more from her. But I definitely do think that, like, at this point, you know, her endurance would not have gotten her through.
No, he would have been screwed.
And would she have gotten last? Maybe not. But, you know, it's definitely...
It would have shown out that people have been like, oh, she hasn't got the gas.
Exactly. Right.
One thing we do see from next week, too, is there's a cheater. Someone cheats.
Someone cheats.
TJ apparently hates that more than quitting.
Yeah, someone cheats. And honestly, this is like... This doesn't happen very much in challenge history. The only thing I can think of directly off the top of my head was from Rivals 3 when Nate and Christina lost their piece during the I can't remember the daily's name right now. It was called Lapse of Judgment, and it was the one where they ended up having to run naked at the end of it. Which, anybody listening, yes, I will still do the video talking about that. It's just been crazy, guys. We've just had so much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, and it turned out that it was Camilla and Tony that had, you know, taken their piece and tossed it off to the side, blah, blah, blah. And they got sent directly to elimination.
So,
or did they get sent home? I can't remember.
I think they got sent to elimination.
I think they got... Maybe, or directly home. I can't remember.
Or is that the season that Tony got sent home because he blew up on Camilla in the kitchen?
No, that was something different. That was why they became rivals.
Oh, that was from Bloodlines.
Yes.
Okay, anyways, who do you think cheats?
Ooh, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who cheats. But I think that I just want to, like, I think it's going to be a situation kind of like Fessy on, what was that, USA 2 or whatever?
Where he runs the wrong way.
Where he like runs the wrong way.
Takes the shortcut instead of the long way.
Yeah, like he saw the sign and went that direction anyway kind of thing. And so I'm thinking it's going to be something like that. And my inclination, like my gut wants to go to like one of the rookies, just because like I just can't envision a vet making that big of a mistake because they're so experienced in looking for signs, you know, following the rules, knowing that production sees everything. There's cameras everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? They're just more experienced. So I'm inclined to think that it's a rookie. But at the same time, TJ being so upset about it almost makes me feel like it's a vet.
I've got 2 ideas for vets.
Okay, what's your ideas?
Ashley and Theo.
Okay.
Those are my ideas.
That's fair.
But and no real reasoning. That's what the guts tell me. It's probably wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
That's fair.
Okay, with that being said, let's close this out. Who are your MVPs for this episode?
Oh, shit. MVPs. Well, I'm going to give my MVP. I'm going to give my male MVP to Jeremy.
Okay.
And this actually...
he beasted.
Yeah, he beasted the daily. Not a big fan of his strategy for who he chose to put up against Theo in the vote.
But
it worked. They weakened Olivia's numbers and they put her in a position where she had to pick between her best friend and her boyfriend. So, you know, I can't hate the situation. I'd like to give an honorable mention to CT because he killed that elimination. Yeah. But also, like, for me, I can't give him full on MVP for that because he was supposed to win that.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed.
As for a female MVP,
there's only one.
I mean, I guess Sydney.
Yeah, it has to be because
there's just nobody else. She won the daily. I'm not going to give it to Michaela as much as like her strategy played a lot into the political side of this episode.
You don't get MVP for throwing.
You don't get MVP for throwing the daily unless it was like a hell of a show and I can't even tell that you threw it.
Or you got Turbo out.
Or you got Turbo out. Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm going to echo it. Same MVPs and honorable mention to CT. Shout out to Derek.
Yeah, shout out to Derek. I'm going to miss him. I love him so much. I love you, Derek.
Line of the night. What you got?
Oh, definitely Bob's your uncle.
Ooh,
I gotta go with Bob's your uncle because like that's just going to become like an everyday like real life thing like Audacity.
I can dig it.
You know what I mean? Like that's just what it's going to be.
Just to be a little bit different, I'm going to go with, I can't decide on which one of Anissa's, but I'm going to give Anissa the award It's either going to be for when they were introducing her and Jake, and she's like, I've been waiting weeks to be partnered with him, and I'm not talking about for this daily.
That one was pretty funny.
Or
and then
the climbing, she's like, this is not a thicktivity. That is so fucking good.
Oh, that's so good. Sorry, really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
really quick. I just want to go through a couple of these fan submissions. Shout out to Teeny Town LLC. They said
Limited Liability Corporation.
They say, glad CT made it through, but this season feels like production is trying to force the OGs to retire. And I do kind of see that. Like, I do kind of see how the edit this season is very much favoring the rookies more so than it is the vets, which is not always the case for past seasons with, where we have rookies and vets on there.
Yeah.
Shout out to MJP 1785. They say, it's okay. This season is boring. These episodes could have easily have been 60 minutes. Now, I highly disagree with the boring thing. I think this is one of the better seasons we've gotten in the last 10 or so.
100%. 100%.
But I also do agree. I do see a lot of the social conversations I feel like they're dragged out, and we see them being had multiple times in order to fill that 90-minute slot when you could have just done 60 minutes and it would have been fine.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
How
about cut down on the 30 minutes of commercials?
Literally. Shout out to Ginger, Chaos, and Joy. She says, am I the only one who wanted Derek K and CT to pole wrestle? My response to that is Derek K, yes, if he was in full health, like we said.
And CT was in better health.
CT was in better shape, absolutely. In this condition, no, I don't want to see that
it's
because
just going to ruin my childhood.
Well, and not only that, but Derek K to me is one of those people, he's not going to give up no matter what. And so he's going to go out there and get injured. And that is not what I want for DK. So I'm kind of glad they didn't put him in. Shout out to the Chief 85. They say, if the new threats really wanted justice for Leka, they should have sent in Derek or Leroy. And again, totally agree.
What was that?
Go ahead.
What was that one message you got from our follower? The one that was talking about D.
Yeah, I'll get to that here in just a second. Shout out to Colin Dever. Says justice for Leka is crazy. She's a rookie. What the hell happened to the nasty vets we loved? And I'm just going to leave that on that note. And then last two, again, shout out to Clint. So C. Kirkman 9. Best line of the night from Anissa. Heights challenges are not a thicktivity.
Facts. Facts.
And then the last one, big shout out to our buddy Luke out there. He says, I think this is one of the best seasons in years, and respect to the OGs. The CT hate is too much. And I agree, dude. Honestly, this is one of the best seasons we've had in quite a while. Okay, so getting to we got this message from one of our followers. A shout out to Ye Old Dude. And here's what he says. He's talking about D, and he says, is she good? She came out the gate hot with the first win and all the bananas drama. But what else has she done? I feel like she's been hyped up and has not been able to perform to that level. She only has 14 points right now and got 8 of those on episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And why they won that first challenge with the no water on their side of the hill controversy.
Ooh.
I also know she's been DQ'd at least twice as well. And she's trying to say she wants the best partner and wants to get CT out. I like her on the show, but I currently think she's way overrated and has no room to be asking for these great partners when she has yet to show why she deserves it.
He ain't wrong.
I mean, yeah, he's not wrong.
You're not wrong.
And it is kind of it's kind of one of those irony things, because looking here, D is literally in last place for the rookie females.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we add in the vets, she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She would be in 11th place out of all of the women. So, points wise. So it's kind of just one of those things where it's At what point do you think you're going to get one of the top dudes regardless?
She's not.
So
the only way she was getting a top dude is if Bananas was still in the game and had points.
Yeah.
But he's not because the challenge is over. Sorry. Anyways, that wraps it up. Like we've got nothing else to talk about other than non-challenge stuff, which you will be able to catch us talking about here soon. Like we said, keep an eye out. You might even see the new logo pop up somewhere during this episode. Ooh. Anyways, for myself, Ricky Hayes, my beautiful wife, Karina Hayes, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it this far, you should be subscribed. If not, you're only doing yourself a disservice. Anyways, we love y'all. Hope you have a great week, a weekend, whenever you get a chance to listen to this, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Justice for Leka.
Justice for CT.
Justice for Leka was a Leica.
Justice for Leka or just a Leica?